Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be discussing the BC_travel data model, or the flight data model, you may know it as better, that SAP provides. It's built into the SAP trial systems, and it can be populated with data so that developers can practice ABAP without actually having to go in and fill out data themselves. So the flight model, this is from the SAP help website. If we look, this is a basic simplified representation. There's a couple more tables and more relationships than are shown here. But some of the important tables are, your things like your carriers, your customers, travel agencies, flight schedule, flights, and bookings, flight bookings. So, you can go to the SAP website and read more about the actual data model here. But today I'm going to be showing you how to, with a trial SAP system, generate data so that you can then write ABAP programs and analyze that data. So let's begin. Alright, so we open up our SAP GUI for Windows. Within here, I've got a favorite so you guys can look at this. This is this particular lesson on BC travel. So there's a couple of transactions here that are interesting. This URL I'll put in the description, so don't worry if you don't see it here. Transaction SD11 is the data modeler. And if we know a specific model, for example, BC travel, we can come in here, we can drill down on it, we can figure out, what's going on with the particular data hierarchy. We can do data dictionary things, and it'll tell us the different tables and everything related to that data model. I'll leave that for you guys to explore on your own time. It's out of the scope of this video. But another transaction we'll be using is SE11, just our ABAP dictionary. So we can come in here and examine tables from the BC_travel model or the flights model. And so we can look at these tables and we can kind of figure out how they're structured, how we might want to use them in our mock ABAP programs. So we'll back out of that. So when you get your trial system, you download it, you install the license, you do all that fun stuff of installing an SAP system. You're going to have some empty data tables in the flight model, and that's no fun for writing ABAP programs. How are we supposed to select data and write reports if we don't have any data? So what we need to do is, thankfully, SAP have provided SAP BC_data_generator and sflight_data_gen. These are two SAP programs which will pre-fill the flight model data in all the flight model tables so that we can then go in and write our own ABAP programs to work with this data. So we're going to go to transaction SE38, the ABAP editor. We're going to run this first program, SAP BC Data Generator. Click on execute. And this program has a selection screen. We can choose whether we want to delete table entries. As you see right now, there's no table entries in these flight model tables. Flights, flight schedule, flight bookings. So we can choose whether we want just a small amount of records, a standard data record, 26 flights, or 26 flight schedule, 350 flight, and 100,000 bookings. And so these two, maximum data record and monster data record, as it says, can only be created in the background. So we actually have to run this report with a variant if we want that amount of data. So for this, you see this is your monster and your max. So you'd just go back out, you would click with variant, and you would execute it in the background. Under transaction, I believe it's SA38 is where you'll do this. So you do with variant and then background. But we're going to go ahead and run this in the foreground because we don't need that much data to get started with ABAP. We can go ahead and do minimum data record or standard data record. Either one will take a little time unless you just have a system that's packed with RAM and on SSD and all this fun stuff. So we'll go ahead and click execute. Caution, old table entries will be deleted and regenerated. Is this okay? And that's fine for test data. Alright guys, so sorry about that. My session bombed out and I had to go in and rerun that SAP BC data generator again, but we're back here at the start screen, and there's one more, sflight underscore data underscore gen. And this one, you're just going to run it. There's no selection screen or anything. It's just going to run, and it's just going to finish. So we'll go ahead and I'll pause the video while that runs, and we'll resume after that. Guys, so we finished running both of those programs provided by SAP to generate fictitious data for the travel flight model. So now we're just going to go to, we could go SE11, SE16. I'm used to SE11. We'll just go there and check out our tables. So this is sflight. Click on display, go here to table contents and execute. And we can see that we do have some fictitious data in this table that we can now use in our ABAP programs. And the thing that I did want to point out, when we were in SE38 earlier, and we were looking at SAP BC, what was it, data generator, it shows these three tables here, SPFLI, sflight, and sbook. But those tables are not the only ones that it populates. So for example, if we look at SCARR, which is our list of carriers, our airline carriers, see airlines, go into view, then we see we actually do have airlines and other tables that are populated from these two jobs. So that is how we generate data for the BC Travel S-Flight model. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.